Well, hi everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Great to see you again, and thanks for clicking on. Now today, this guy sitting beside me here, welcome mate, and thanks for giving us the time.
Not a problem.
Okay, this is Mark McCauley. Most folks know him as Mac. Well, his friends do. I still call him Mark.
You should be calling me Mac, my friend.
Mac's the president of Hawkes Bay chapter of Ulysses. So welcome, buddy. Thanks very much for giving you the time, giving us the time. So I'll get my memory out here and get a couple of things in. So can we start off with a bit of the history of Ulysses generally in New Zealand or internationally? Where do you stand?
Ulysses originated in Australia in, I think it was around 1983.
Yeah.
And then some of our current, in fact, founding members joined Ulysses Australia, and then in 1985 formed Ulysses New Zealand.
Okay.
And from there, it very quickly grew. I think as the records show, the first meeting was in Taupo and the second meeting was here in Hawkes Bay. So it originated in Hawkes Bay, in somebody's kitchen, and as I say, some of the founding members, which we still have 2 or 3 of in our branch in Hawkes Bay,
That's cool.
Formed Ulysses New Zealand.
Right.
And from that it grew very rapidly. It went from probably 20 within the first few months into a couple of hundred.
Wow.
And the criteria was you had to be 40 and you had to be a motorcycle lover or appreciate motorcycles, but most of all you had to like associating with like-minded people. And so that's why Ulysses was formed. And now it is worldwide. I don't know the exact, because our subs were due in December last year, and I think there's a few slow payers. But I think locally here in my branch in Hawkes Bay, I think we're sitting around about 89 members. New Zealand wide, I think we're somewhere in the vicinity of, or it could be as close to 7,000 to 8,000.
Wow.
In Australia, I think there are around 20,000.
Man, alive. That'd be one of the biggest motorcycle clubs.
It is the largest motorcycle club in New Zealand and Australia as a social motorcycle club.
Right. Wow.
We are actually, as far as I'm aware, we are the only one in New Zealand that is a registered motorcycle club.
Cool. So, yeah, well, there's a few clubs out there need to start thinking about getting registered, guys.
Well, hey, look, there's a lot of clubs out there, as you know. You've got the Harley clubs and the social cruisers and the Iron Sisters, and we work very closely as they do with us with our fundraisers. But now you've also got the Japanese cruisers, and you've got the Ducati clubs that are just showing up now and becoming quite large through New Zealand.
Yep.
And they're all there for the same reason. We love riding motorbikes.
Yep.
And we love socialising.
Yeah.
But most of all, I think the stats, I read something last year where the stats show that motorcycle clubs actually raise the most funds for charities throughout the world than anything else.
Wow, that says something. Yeah, well, I've commented a couple of times with the clubs. You know, you go, we'll touch on this a bit later on with the charity events that you run here with Ulysses. But bikers that I've found, and I've only come back into the biker community in the last about 6 years, I suppose, after having a few years off. And they're still the same today as they were then. They're very generous people, both with their time and with their money, and they'll get behind good causes, and I think that's a great thing.
Absolutely.
You know, it's something that really sets us aside, and it starts to get rid of that attitude that of greasy bikers and they're only gangs and that sort of thing. Well, that can't be furthest from the truth, so that's great to hear those stats, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at all. Oh, very good. Okay, so there's how many chapters you got in New Zealand now?
Oh, look, there's probably a chapter in just about every major city.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how many, but any major city will have Well, we call it a branch.
Yep.
So it's a branch to NatCom, and NatCom is Ulysses New Zealand, and we are a sub-branch from that.
Okay.
We have one in Hawke's Bay here, which is from pretty much Waipukureo, a little bit past it,
Yep.
up to Wairoa, and then you've
Right.
got Gisborne, Tauranga, Hamilton, Rotorua, two in Auckland. You've
Yep.
got North Harbour plus Auckland. So the biggest cities actually have two branches.
Yep.
Taranaki, Manawatu, Waipukureo. I think you've got one in Levin or in that area, Horowhenua I think it's called.
Yeah.
And then you've got Wellington, and then you've got all of the South Island as well.
So yeah, so there's a few
So
of you
yeah,
around.
there'd be probably, at a guess, there'd probably be 20 or 30
Yep.
branches throughout New Zealand.
Yep.
I don't know the exact number.
Yep.
I didn't research that one. So.
That's okay. It gives us a general overview.
Yeah.
The thing we know, but there's a lot of you guys around the place.
Yeah,
so,
there
which
is.
is good.
There's branches everywhere,
Yeah.
and we get together a lot. We have the AGM coming up this March
Yeah.
in Christchurch,
Yeah.
and so we all gather there. But as we're travelling around the country in our groups, as you know, we hop on our motorbikes on a Sunday morning, and we go for a bit of a jaunt, and we can end up in Rotorua. So I notify Rotorua we're coming. They catch up with us, whether it be Gisborne, Manawatu,
Oh,
whatever.
nice. Yeah.
And then, of course, the AGM, we all get together. So it's very social, but there's that comradeship and that friendship there as well.
Yeah.
New members fit in very easily because we're a very friendly bunch. We're not a gang.
Yep.
We're a club.
Certainly not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the members that we pick up all have the same interests at heart.
Yeah.
And my branch in particular I'm very, very proud of because the new members that we brought in, I think I've signed up in my time that I've been here as 30 odd new members.
Wow.
And
Yep.
it's just like they've been here with us for years.
Great. Yep.
They're made very welcome. We don't do anything differently. If they're not comfortable, they're not comfortable. It's entirely their choice, but I haven't had one leave yet.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, good. Now you mentioned NatCom. You've got a national body overseeing the whole of all the branches you have here in New Zealand.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We NatCom is the New Zealand who we all answer to, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Although we're our own identity. But if there's an issue or something, there's a problem or legality or something, then NatCom is there for us. Tim Stewart's been the president of NatCom, I think, for the last 3 years.
Okay.
Made an absolutely wonderful job.
Yeah, that's tiny.
That's Tiny.
Tiny.
Tiny's actually a member of Hawke's Bay.
Oh, brilliant.
Lives
yeah.
in Hawke's Bay, so that's been very
Yeah.
handy. And he has a committee under him as well. And they sort out issues that the local branches can't deal with.
Yeah, great.
And they put their stamp on things that we must abide by.
Yeah.
But it's nothing but, the average. Sorry, that's my alarm at home.
Oh, right.
Um,
Yeah, he's just
so-
waking up, folks.
yeah. So, it's very good to have all these branches throughout New Zealand, but we're governed and not controlled, but suggestions from NatCom, and NatCom can deal with things that the local branches can't deal with.
Nice.
And they've made a wonderful job. Ulysses was formed in New Zealand in about 1985, I believe.
Yeah.
And between 85 and 88 is when it became the national branch with the branches under it, because it just grew so quickly that it needed to happen.
Needed organisation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we went from 20 to hundreds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. That's really, to me, that's a great success story because people are comfortable, they're riding, you've got the interest, you are a social club, but the interest is in motorcycles and everyone gets on.
That's
just goes
dead
for
right.
it, so
Dead
that's
right.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn this down because somebody keeps walking in front of my camera at home there.
Oh, is that right? Actually, tell us a little bit more about the chapter here in Hawke's Bay. You run some and sponsor charity events as well, don't you? There's a couple of that are quite dear to your heart.
We do. Our branch over the years has run several different charities. We ran with Blue Glove, the prostate finger thing there for 1 year.
Yep.
But we let that go because there's so many other organisations and things doing things for cancer out there and that sort of thing. But we do major ones. 18th of next month we have our annual St John's Ambulance fundraiser coming up.
Yeah.
And so myself and the committee are working on that at the moment to put that into place, and we're hoping for fine weather.
I'll put a prayer up for you, brother.
Yeah. This year the funds will go towards locally. We try and keep it local. All the funds go to St John's locally. It's going to be for a computerised mannequin so that they can do their injections and check pulses and IVs and all that sort of thing. So the funds will go towards that.
Yeah.
And then a bit of a shout out for George, Social Cruises. We have the air ambulance, which is a very similar operation out at the airport there.
Yep.
We have that fundraiser coming up very shortly as well.
Yeah, cool.
So we get behind that.
Yep.
In actual fact, all the clubs throughout Hawke's Bay get behind these, no matter who's running it, whether it's the Iron Sisters for their Halloween or ours or George or Harley Club or BMC. We all get behind these fundraisers as one, so we can end up with several hundred motorbikes on an event.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've seen that and been part of those, and they're absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone's heart's in the right place, and there's no problems.
Oh yes,
that's great.
No.
Yeah.
And of course, when we're not doing that, we're out enjoying ourselves. As you know, you've been on some of our rides.
Certainly have, and they've certainly been enjoyable.
Yep, and bringing up an old thing, mate, I'll follow you anywhere. I can recall you and I ending up in the drain one day, but we won't go over that too much.
No, we won't.
Yeah.
But he follows very well, folks, I can tell you that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the first time I met Mac, actually, and we both ended up in the same ditch. But no damage was done, maybe to our egos just a bit, but that was about it.
Yes.
Yeah. No. But anyway, moving on.
It was another good day out.
It was, actually.
But no, we do lots of social rides, and everybody's welcome on the social rides, and I have what I'm calling associate members. Now, you must be, according to the rules of Ulysses, New Zealand, you must be 40 years and over.
Yep.
But I have these wonderful late 20s and mid 40s that enjoy our company, and we indeed enjoy their company. So I call them associate members.
Yep.
Now, NatCom, I'm not sure whether all of them are, or whether all of the New Zealand Ulysses are behind this. There are some older staunch ones out there that think that we don't need to drop the age, but I'm for dropping the age to around 30, 35, because there's some wonderful young adults out there that I just enjoy their company.
Yep.
You know, we're all getting older, and a few of us are passing away and dropping off, and we're not getting great numbers joining at the age of sort of 50 and over. So we're getting a few between 40 and 50. So having these younger sort of 34 or 35-year-olds coming through,
Yep.
And as couples, a few of them, when they get to the age of 40, will certainly join Ulysses.
Yeah.
Or if we can get the age dropped, or they can become an official associate member, then they'll hang in there.
Yeah. Okay, you're the president. What's the senior membership like, and how do you work that out in the club itself?
As far as committee goes?
Yeah.
So the club votes the committee in every year at the AGM, which is in May every year.
Yeah.
And so we send out voting papers and etc. who they'd like in what particular role. So we have myself as coordinator or president, and then we have secretary, which is Jeff McFun, and he takes care of all that sort of thing. Mark Davies is our treasurer, and then we have committee members that have numerous roles.
Okay.
And David is a committee member that's taken on the runs coordinator.
Right. Runs coordinator, that's a bit like a road captain in other clubs.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Generally, I'll let him lead because he's a very good rider and he rides at a good pace. But we have a rule on our club rides: you ride your own ride, so long as it doesn't interfere with other club members.
Yeah.
So if you're quite happy to follow myself, I very often lead ride. Then you follow me. If I'm travelling a bit slow and you want to go a bit fast and have a bit of fun, then pass me safely and we'll catch you at the next major intersection. Or if I'm feeling a bit throttle happy,
a bit frisky.
I'll take off, and if anybody wants to chase me, they're more than welcome to.
Right.
So yeah, but the big thing is safety. And as the Ulysses branch, we all wear either the leathers and leather boots and gloves and helmets, and I'm trying to encourage into the club, if you drop your helmet or you have a slight accident and the helmet actually hits the ground, or if your helmet's over 3 years old, you replace your helmet.
Right.
As you know, I had a bit of a boo-boo about 9 weeks ago.
Yep.
My helmet didn't actually touch the ground that I'm aware of, but I replaced it anyway.
Yep.
If we're not wearing leathers, then we're wearing the
The good
weather,
fabric. Yep.
the good fabric, and boots and gloves. I don't encourage my members to hop on their motorbikes in their shorts and jandals and singlet and throw a helmet on and go to the dairy for a pint of milk.
Yep.
It just doesn't cut it with me.
Yep. No, me neither.
So, and some of us wear, as I'm wearing here, is the vest.
Yep.
And you can see some of my badges and things on. If I put them all on, I wouldn't be able to wear it because my knees would snap off. And then also a lot of the activities that we partake in. So the, Dogs on Bikes, which is a fundraiser for SPCA.
Yep.
And then we've got the social cruises, the Remembrance Run, the Hawke's Bay Harley Club Spring Run, the One Night Stand, which I just attended yesterday, and I came home like a drowned rat. The Ulysses Taupo Dice Run, so we also go to other branches and do those as well. And then we've got this is a very sad one now. Helen's a very good mate of mine. She owns the pub down, the Black Dog, down at the back of Ormondville there.
Yep.
Sadly, Helen passed away on Wednesday, and we have her funeral in Taranaki on next Saturday. And then I'm hoping, with the family's blessing and with the family, is to, late in February, is put on a remembrance weekend and see Helen off in a good way, and that'll include the whole of New Zealand, because Helen was known worldwide for her feats.
Yep.
So that was a sad day for me, being very close to Helen, and also we used to use the Black Dog frequently for a Sunday ride for lunch and etc.
Yep.
And of course I've been attending the Black Dog.
Yeah.
First weekend in January for Farmers Mental Health, and Helen did a wonderful job there.
Yes, you did. Okay. Now, how do people get hold of you, mate? So if someone wants to join Ulysses, what do they do?
So we've made it very simple now. So if somebody wants to see what Ulysses is all about, they can go on to the Netcom site, which is Ulysses New Zealand, and it's got a short video on there on what we're all about, and they can sit and watch that. If they think that they want to join, then there's an application form on that site, and they fill it out and they send it to Debbie, who's in Wellington, and then Debbie will send it up to me, and I'll do a little bit of research and so on and so forth, because we can't have everybody that makes applications to join Ulysses. You've got to have a criteria of being the right age, or the right attitude, and so on and so forth. So we're very strict on that, because we can't have our branches, struggling to,
Yeah, attitude's a big one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So then that's sent to me, and then I sign it and stamp it after meeting the individual, inviting them along, or him or her along for a ride to join us. If they like it, it's sent away. They get their badge, their name plaque, and they're a Ulyssian. And they enjoy our company, and we just go from there.
Brilliant.
And very quickly they become part of our family.
Yeah.
And in saying that, I am so proud of my branch here in Hawke's Bay. I consider it to be a family.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we have one,
Shows actually.
we have one man down, one woman down, a child of a family. We're there in numbers to support and do whatever we can do. As you know, Darren
Yep.
had a
Yep.
major one a little while back there.
Yep.
The branch is so behind Darren that it's overwhelming for Darren and his family.
Yeah.
But that's what we're all about.
That's what it should be too, isn't it? That's,
Yep.
that's the biker community.
Yep.
Well, that's the biker community that I know and that I remember too from back
Yep.
in the day.
Yep.
Yeah, that's that camaraderie thing that you were talking about before,
Mm.
which is absolutely paramount.
Yep, camaraderie and the friendships that you build, that I've built around New Zealand, of all the different branches, just absolutely outstanding.
Alison, just to finish up, and I'd finish with this question on all these videos. When did you start riding, and what was your first motorcycle?
Oh, I started riding when I was 15, and I had a 185 Honda.
Good on you.
And that wasn't fast enough for me, so then I bought a 250 Honda, and shortly after that I ended up with a brand new 350 Yamaha RD.
Yep.
That was plenty fast enough for me.
Yes, yeah, front end up all the way.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. But no, I started out as a kid really on old beach motorbikes and etc. and that sort of thing. And I had a break from motorbikes there while my children were growing up and so on and so forth. But it didn't take me long to get another motorbike. Rain and I think we bought a 750 Kawasaki there at one stage in the summer for a bit of a cruiser. And in the winter we sold it, but I missed it so bad I went and bought another motorbike, and now I'm currently riding a Boulevard M109R 1800cc, and I've just purchased a 2022 Yamaha Tracer GT,
Wow.
which is a beautiful bike.
Yep.
And so I've got the best of both worlds at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Good old cruiser,
Yep.
and then something that's very good on touring
Yes.
and long distance.
Yep. Yeah, and it's got a little bit of squirt in there if you want.
They've both got plenty of squirt, I can assure you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, and in our branch, in actual fact, in the whole of New Zealand, Ulysses, we have such a, it doesn't matter what you own.
Yep.
We've got Vespers.
Good on you.
So you can own any motorbike you wish. We don't, we do have the odd joke and crack about the Harleys, but hey, at the end of the day, every motorcycle and motorcyclist is welcome into Ulysses, and we certainly have a broad range of motorcycles. In my branch here, I think we have just one of just about every motorcycle that exists,
Brilliant.
including a beautiful Harley Barry Robinson. But yeah, no, we have no issues with what you ride.
Yeah. No,
None
that's
at all.
cool. Well, there you are, folks. If that sounds like you, they don't care what you ride. They do care about your attitude a bit, which has got to be first class. But if Ulysses sounds like a club for you, and you really like the good social atmosphere, and riding all over the place, and I mean over the place, because some of the places they end up in, this could be the club for you. So if you're over 40 or even 35, give Mac a call and see where you go. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Don't forget to ride free, and of course, God bless.
Cheers. Bye now.